Afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you're joining us from YouTube, please subscribe. We are also going to go live on TikTok. We are expecting a special guest. Okay, just make sure that everything is tidy there. So it's all okay. That's fine. Yeah. So, good afternoon. Sorry, just checking a few things just to tidy it up. So, good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Today, we'll be streaming on three platforms Citizen AY on Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube. So, the discussion will be very much, you will see it going on live. So, you'll be able to pick it up that way. I'm hoping that this works. 1 second. I hope everything is working as intended. Something is happening. Just give me a minute. We're just checking that everything is working as it should be. It doesn't appear to be on one. So just give me a second, please. And also, we're waiting for a special guest to come in. Hopefully, she will be with us, and we will carry on until until she shows up. So do bear with us if it looks a little bit, there's still things are not quite going. But we will. The topic at hand is what you see on the screen. It's about physical abuse, and we want to talk about it. So we're going to get into it shortly. What I will do whilst I'm waiting is to try and okay, good. Yes, we got it. So we're going to go now. So we'll be going live on YouTube as well, Facebook as well. So good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. You're watching Citizen AY. We've got a special guest who will be joining us. I'm hoping that unless there's something that onto unexpected, she will be joining us. Good afternoon, welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. You're watching us on TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You've seen the headline of the discussion, and it is something that is very, very important. Whoa, okay, 1 second. Let me just take that quickly. Yeah, let me just take that.
Anyway,
Yes.
I've been in the waiting room now.
Oh, I didn't see you. Okay, I'll add you now. Sorry. Okay, I'll add you now. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's do that. I just didn't see her. She's been in the waiting room waiting, obviously, and I just missed her. So let's have a look. Okay, go back in the waiting room then. Can you? Oh, sorry. That's my fault. We're gonna do something quickly. I completely made a mistake. That was my fault. She's waiting for me and I was waiting for her. And there was a bit of miscommunication, but that's fine. We can switch it around relatively quickly. So we can start this one, start now. So you would see a change. You see a change on the screen. So we're going to go in there now. Yeah, okay. Start. Okay, let me just go here. 1 second, please. I'm gonna just join that quickly. Beg your pardon. Sometimes these things do happen, and you just have to just ride with it. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so I'll be there in a minute presently. Sorry about that. My fault completely. I was waiting, and it just took some time. Okay, good. So we're here. So good. Okay, I'm gonna add you. So just come in then. Where are you? Susie, just come in. Can you click the link? Sorry, I'm just trying to get her on board. This is gonna be good. Very good. So she's joined us now. So good afternoon to you all. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Today's discussion is going to be on a very difficult topic. I'm hoping she should join soon. I think there's two of us here. So let me do the gallery thing so you can see me and her. Participants. Yeah, she's joining us. Okay. So she will be joining presently. So I'm just checking all of that. We're going to do a bit of a quick thing here. just bear with us. We will get there. I'm trying to bring her in, so she's joining. So we will start the discussion. President, great. So she's joined us. Welcome on board, Susie, and thank you for joining us for this very important discussion on abuse and physical abuse and all of that. I presume you've seen the video that I sent you. You've watched the video, I take it, because we will not be showing it on air, but we will talk about it. So hello, and by the way, what am I saying? Let you introduce yourself. This is Susie Retty here. Please,
Hi,
hi. So just say a quick hello to everybody on screen, and tell them, about yourself a little bit. In terms of, I've known you for quite a while, and you're very, very active socially in terms of a lot of causes and concerns, and even in terms of Yoruba Nation and Nigeria in general. So just give them a little bit of an intro about yourself. Thank you very much.
Hi, AY. Thank you. Do you know what, AY? You have just said it all. What can I say? I'm an IT consultant. I'm a social worker. I'm a journalist.
Wow.
I'm Susie. I'm a mother.
Wow. Great role model to many people, no doubt. That's
thank you.
no, it's good. No, it is true. I mean, juggling a lot of things and getting by. So kudos to you. And it's a great thing to see. And we always, as men, we may not say it very often, but we do appreciate, and I'm sure, many of us are looking and thinking, okay, other women will be looking and emulating that, and something to.
Oh, thank you, AY. Thank you so much.
So it's worth saying that, and we should say that to ourselves as often. I think one of the things in our culture, maybe not necessarily culture, but that tends to happen, is that we don't really go into detail in terms of one-on-one honest discussions and really
society,
praising each other. And I think we probably need to bring that into the discussion going forward as part of our society. And interestingly, this is a good segue into what we're talking about now, because in having that one-on-one connections, things like this that develop now is something that we could easily address.
Exactly.
So that's the issue. Are you on? Can you join on TikTok if I threw an invite as well?
Let me see if I can. Let me go on TikTok on the laptop.
Yeah. And
do you know what? Unlike many people, I only have one phone. I think I need to rectify that.
Well, I mean, I'm using a laptop, and then I'm using the phone as well. I mean, I have another phone for phone lines, which I'm hoping if it charges up, people can call in. So I'm trying to I'm multitasking.
Oh, bless. No, I should be able to go on TikTok on my laptop.
Yeah, you should. Then I'll add you. So just give us a few minutes, guys. We're just trying to do some few technical issues. Make sure it works.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, AY. I'm going to...
I'll send you an invite if you go in. I know you.
No, I'm going to go on Zoom on the laptop. Okay. So I'm going to change... Can I change? Why has this come up like this?
Throw me the invite, and that's fine. No, not a problem. So
I need to find TikTok on the laptop first. Hold on, sorry.
Okay, no problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, the discussion today is going to be about the physical abuse suffered by the lady in the picture that I've obscured now. Many of you would have seen it. One of the things we want to do is we need to actually know who this guy is. We need to find out who the guy is. We need to know. Hi there. Hi, Ristink. Oh, thank you. Maybe I'll throw in Ristink an invite as well. We might do a three-way thing. We're talking about physical abuse, and it is very, very important. Okay, Ristink is on. Go be online. So when I see you when I see you online, I'll add you as well, Retty. So we might have more people in the discussion. So because it's important, and in fact, having women discuss this, because
sorry, where are you going to send the invite? How are you going to send me the invite on TikTok?
I will just see you. I'll send it to you now. Let me get your name on there. So I'll see you. 1 second. You're Susie Retty, aren't you? So I'll send you.
Susie Retty.
Yeah, let me see. Is it 1 second, guys? Susie Retty. I should be able to pick that up easily. So give me a minute, guys. Just bear with me.
Okay.
Is it the same spelling as on the
SUSIE?
Yeah.
Retty, RETTY.
Yeah. Okay, I've just sent it in, but I can't see it. It's not showing up. Yeah, there you are. There you are. Got it. Got it. So I've sent you the invite as well. So, Erase Think, thank you very much for joining us as well. We're going to be doing a double thing. So it's going to be between Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So, ladies and gentlemen, do bear with us if it looks a bit, So, yeah, I've thrown you the invite. Can you see the invite on TikTok as well?
Yes, apparently I have to download.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me just download
Okay,
it.
download that. So we will. So while she's doing that, just to give you a bit of a background, let me show you a picture. Those of you on the screen who are on Facebook and on YouTube, on TikTok, you won't be able to see the picture, but you can get the message. So in the middle of the picture, you see a man. His hands are obscured, and I've obscured the face of his wife and the face of the children as well, because what he's doing, he's being physically abusive, and I don't want to necessarily go into that in detail or anything. Yesterday, one of the problems I found was that when I started, I didn't play it on air, but I played the voice, and the sound is just too horrific to play. It is really horrific. Now, the question we're trying to address now is the issue of this issue of physical abuse, both from men to women and vice versa. And what is the reasoning behind? What is causing it? Why is it something that is very, very prevalent? Not in all places. I hasten to add, there are a lot of wonderful people, men and women in our society, that don't do that, but there are some that they think that is something that they should do. So we wanted to talk about that. So okay, Susu, thank you very much. So I don't know if anybody wants to talk for a minute. Race Think, I'll give you a minute to talk, and I might even put this on speaker here so that people can hear you. You can hear people as well and chime in. But we'll see how we can navigate everything. So I'm just trying to put everything together in a way that will function. So, Race Think, are you there? I don't know if you want to say something.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here.
So the issue is about this physical attack that happened somewhere in the UK. By the way, if anybody knows, we don't know where exactly in the UK it happened. So
Anyway, I think it's America, looking at the house.
no, someone said it's in the UK. Well, I
Look at
think.
the staircase. How many houses are built like that here in the UK?
Well, you think it's in America?
I think it's America. Looking
Because
at the staircase.
okay.
It's a massive house. We don't really have massive houses.
Oh, okay, maybe. Okay. So wherever it is, we're trying to find out who it is. So we're trying to find out who it is. So so Race Think, I don't know if you heard about that story. There's been a video out where there's been there's been a guy who was beating up his wife physically. I mean, the sound is horrific. I can't play it on air because it's just too shocking. So I don't know. I wonder if you've heard about it, Race Think.
No, I've not heard about it at all.
Okay. So so that's the issue. Is we're trying to say whether or not we've heard about it. We're saying that we should say no to it, and it is something we should address within our communities. So this provides a perfect opportunity for us to look at it and actually say, right, this is not acceptable. Susie, how are you doing? Are you joining TikTok on there?
I downloaded the wrong thing.
Okay, that's fine. No worry. We'll crack on. So myself and Race Think will carry on. So basically, Race Think, since you are on air with us here, what is your take on physical abuse? What's your take on it? How do you see that?
For me, physical abuse has so many roots.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the roots are manifested in our upbringing. Some of the roots are manifested with whom we associate with, how we want to succeed in our society, and some is actually, for me, some is actually based also around religion.
Okay.
Because the religion is also another
Aspect.
engine that drives the,
Okay.
and because we always encourage the woman, just persevere.
Wow. Just persevere. Be quiet. Don't say anything.
And persevere, because I've seen incidences where women have persevered according to how the pastor said, and they are now deceased.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Shocking.
they are now deceased, because the basic problem is that the man should address exactly why has he got this behavior. Because it is a very Yeah, and physical violence is also something that most women want to think that they are going to pick a new man. When a man is physically violent,
Yeah.
this person has a problem, and you are not supposed to. You should, especially when the children are.
Yes.
Distance yourself.
Yes.
Distance yourself, because what you're doing is you're showing the children two things. I always say, children, the girls, you're showing them this is the behavior men should have towards women.
Indeed.
And for the boys, you're showing them that this is the way dad treats women. So he's going to grow up with this misconception of this is the normal way we are supposed to be treating,
Indeed.
each other in a relationship.
Indeed.
So you're starting a circle, a vicious circle there.
Yeah. Okay. What? Carry on the care thing, race thing. So what did you? Susie, what is it?
What's your account name on?
Citizen AY. Citizen AY.
Because I say Citizen AY3, not that one.
It is that one. Is it on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, just
Citizen AY3.
Yeah, just click on that then. That's it. Yeah. So you'll be able to join now. You should be able to join that. I should be able to see you. Oh, hi, Chika. Oh, Chika is. I can also invite Chika as well on TikTok. So we need to talk about this. I'll invite as many of you so we can talk about this on all the platforms. So Chika, if you would like to join, Susie, yes, you joined. Let me add you. Have you? Let me see. Retty. I'm just trying to see if. Let me add you to that talk as well. So just bear with me, guys. It might be a little bit, okay, I see. Invite you. I'm inviting you on there now. I've sent you an invite, so you should be able to pick it up. That way, the discussion can go, so it can liven up. So yes, race thing. I agree with you in many respects that there's a mixture of things. It's religion, there's societal, there's also this idea of perception of how a woman should cope with things. Let me say from the get-go, as a man, nobody should be quiet in a relationship where someone is abusing them. Do not. Somebody said something yesterday when I was doing a broadcast, whereby they said that if a man, she was going out with a guy and she started talking to people, women in a particular way, so she picked up straight away that was his way of doing things, and she ended that relationship. And I think that's something that we should be looking at. And us men, we have to really we have to relearn a lot of things that we've learned. Have you got it?
No, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap around and do Zoom from the laptop.
Okay.
And TikTok from
we don't have to. We can stay on here because that way we can.
Sure,
yeah, we can. Yeah, it's easier. Okay. It's just so we'll carry on since we got Racing on here, and I'll see if Chika can join us as well. Hi, Chika. Let me join.
You know what? I think I need to change. I can't hear them that well.
You can you hear me on here?
I can hear you, but I can't hear the lady that is with you.
Oh, okay. I'll make it louder. I'll bring the phone closer so when she's talking, you can hear her. I'm just basically, I'm in a situation where I'm trying to adjust things immediately.
I know, you're trying to adjust
to get everything in. So Chika is joining me as well on TikTok. So we're having there's three women. We've got Resting, we've got Chika, we've got Susie. So please, thank you very much. Chika, thank you for joining us. How did you see the video of the man that was beating a woman? I don't know if you've seen the video. Chika. Hi, Chika, can you hear me?
What's the topic? I just joined.
Yeah, it's about saying no to physical abuse, to abuse. A man was beating up his wife, and the video is all over the internet at the minute. So we wanted to address that, generally, to get people to talk about it and really voice their opinions about it and try and look at the solution as a group of people. So that was what it was. I mean, it was vicious. I can't show it on air. If you join me on,
because if you put it here, TikTok will react.
Yes. So we are only talking.
You don't need to post this.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Talking about women and men, and maybe when you go close to them now, you will notice that what is causing the problem.
You've lost your volume.
The woman called the man cheating.
Okay. 1 second.
Maybe the woman called the man cheating.
Okay.
And fight started.
Okay.
You see, so I am tired of talking about it because throughout last
Okay.
I'm talking about women, advising women how to take it, how to behave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. You know, no woman deserves to be beaten.
No.
When you are in a relationship and the relationship is not working for you, walk out of that relationship.
Yeah.
Get out of that relationship. When you say no to any kind of abuse, because some men might not be physically beating you,
No.
but they will use their mouth also. They're abusing you with their mouth.
Okay. Very interesting.
So I will go and stay at the comment section because
Okay.
I'm busy right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Be at the comment section.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chika. So let me just go back. So let's hear from Susie. Did you hear what she said, Susie?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear a word, AY.
Oh, okay. I'm trying
I
to.
didn't hear what you were saying.
Okay. So we will anyway. What she basically mentioned, she was talking about that she's tired of talking about it because she's spoken about it for so long that the women are staying in relationships that are very, very violent and the men are, and she's, so I don't know how you see that.
I see that, and apologies to you, Chika, but as a very unfair statement because it's so easy. You see, sometimes we have this mentality of when we give advice, people have to listen and they have to listen straight away. Unfortunately, it is not as easy as that. There are so many factors and reasons why people stay in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
From having nowhere to go, having a lack of support, having lack of confidence. As you can see, her 2 children are there. It could be a case of he doesn't want to leave her children with such a human being, and he will not take the children. He will not let her take the children with him. She might not have any means. She might not have any means of income. That might be her. She might be a housewife, and so she can't. Especially, she might be in America. She might be an illegal citizen and scared to go out. There are so many reasons.
So many underlying factors. I understand.
So before you can even come to a conclusion on such a situation, you have to treat every situation as an individual situation. No situation is the same.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Yes, go.
Thank God I never left. Thank God what this guy is saying now.
Yeah.
I want to answer him.
No.
Thank God because I wanted to go.
That's Susie. That's a lady.
Thank God I never left.
That's Susie, another friend as well. She's a lady.
A lady is the one. Okay, she sounds like.
Okay, that's a lady. A lady is the one. Okay, she sounds like. Okay, that's a lady.
So, whoops. So, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, we talk to women. You see,
Yeah.
We counsel women, go into marriage, prepare yourself before you go into marriage.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, because you've seen a man, you've seen a husband, and you want to go and marry an abusive man. If you marry an abusive man and you are sitting there, because if you leave that man, nobody will feed you again. If nobody will feed you, then you run to church. Leave the man, take your children and run to church.
Okay.
Stay alive, carry alabalu to feed your children than ending up dead.
Okay. Interesting.
Bye-bye. I don't want to say more. Bye-bye. That's because I know I've been dealing with this issue since last year.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chika. Thank you. Okay.
You can take me out.
Okay.
I'm trying to go out.
Okay.
Take me out, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that now. I'll let you go. Let me if I can go.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Let me try and do it. How can I take you out of the discussion?
I'm trying to take because of the device I'm using. I'm trying to take myself out. That's when I had my sister talk again.
Okay. I'm not too sure how to do it myself. This is the first time I.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay, I've disconnected you. Okay, good. So, race thing. What did you think? What do you like to say about? If you just speak up a little bit more, race thing, if you don't mind. What do you think about what my sister said just now? In terms of,
Yeah. Before I say much, I've already dropped. I always give information.
Yeah.
Information is power.
Yeah.
I've dropped the telephone number of the German police available in English, French, German, and even Turkish, I think.
Okay.
Different languages.
Okay.
If you're in Germany, 110 is the number to dial.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Nowadays understand coded languages,
mm-hmm.
so they were going to understand when you're not able to speak
mm-hmm.
at that particular time when you're, when you just manage to get the call.
Very good point.
The call on loudspeaker.
Mm-hmm.
When he's not near you,
mm-hmm.
but when he's near you, you can speak coded languages. Like you can order a pizza,
mm-hmm.
like you're ordering a pizza for the children.
Yeah.
And you keep on explaining, and even if they tell you no, you keep on continuing to say the things that you'd like to have on the pizza, and you know that they're now realizing you are speaking coded languages. In Germany, we also have a 0800 number.
Okay.
Toll free. It is also a place where if you find that you are not sure, am I in a domestic situation?
Yeah.
Again, you can call here toll free, and you have people that are going to speak to you in those languages that you want.
Okay.
Even if you do not speak English or whatever, they're going to find translators.
Okay.
So, and on top of it, the third thing is also you can go via this website
mm-hmm.
that I've put here.
Yeah.
You can find shelter.
Okay.
So the question of you sticking, if you're in Germany, sticking in a domestic family relationship, whether you have the papers or not, is actually irrelevant.
Okay.
You have to get yourself to safety. Your father
first things first.
To you to be somebody's punch bag. You're not supposed. You did not come in without software.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should be meeting you and telling you, maybe he's the one who is going to be teaching you. And
mm-hmm.
when he was meeting you, your father gave you to him as a complete computer with full everything, with all the apps. You don't need extra.
Yeah.
You're going into a relationship so that both of you can create a new motherboard or whatever,
mm-hmm.
but not him meeting you to create one.
No.
So
no.
women who are coming out, particularly here in the diaspora, that have a feeling, if I leave the person,
yeah,
then I do not have a visa. It's wrong.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can also get a visa based on the fact that the man was domestically violent.
Okay. Okay. Very good information. That's fantastic news.
You get a lawyer. There's so many domestic, synthesized lawyers.
Fantastic.
If you want the shelter, they'll give you one. These lawyers are also working pro bono,
mm-hmm.
which is being covered by the German courts.
Okay.
So you don't have absolutely no reason
mm-hmm.
to allow that your family starts to learn the vicious circle of living in a domestic violent environment.
Wow.
Absolutely no reason.
Thank you.
If you do it, it's because you also want, but there is an option out. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Susie, I wonder if you thank you so much for that race thing. That's really very important information. So Susie, I wonder, based on what she said, she gave a number, a series of numbers. So those of you on TikTok, if you're having problems, please click on the number that race thing gave. What are your thoughts on what she said, and how do you view things, in terms of this issue of abuse? What should women do, and how can a man, if he's serious about to deal with the issue, what should he do? And in fact, in the immediate issue now, what exactly should happen right now to that guy? You're muted. I can't hear you. Or something. I cannot hear you at all. You are... Sorry, 1 second. Can you hear me now? Go ahead. Yeah? Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you now. So go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So, first of all, Awa, I heard part of what the other lady said. And you see, for me, when you address such address victims in such a manner, you drive them away from you. At the end of the day, you have to be able to show empathy regardless of how many times you're saying this thing. That is why when you are in such a profession of working with victims of domestic violence, which I have done before, you need to be ready to be able to repeat, empathize, and not just feel that, oh, well, I've told you, so you need to get out. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
No.
You need to hit the reality button. Victims will stay depending on their circumstances. And don't forget, I said you have to individualize
this situation.
There are certain reasons why women cannot leave, or men, because men do get abused as well.
Yeah, true.
Leave. I've heard a lady say, I can't leave because he will haunt me down for the rest of my life.
Oof.
I've heard women say, I can't leave because my family have told me to stay, that things will get better. I've heard people that go to church and are told in church, don't worry, we'll keep on praying for Brother Nathan. Brother Nathan will change. You understand? I've heard women that it's easy to say to someone, oh, go on benefits. If that person is used to living a comfortable life, going on benefits is not easy for anyone.
No.
It's easy to say to someone, you don't have a visa. That's fine. You're illegal. Go to them because you don't have a visa. A lot of them don't want to take that risk and don't believe they would receive help. So you have to be able to understand that there are so many victims out there and there are different circumstances why they stay with the abuser. No, it's not right for them to stay with an abuser.
Yeah.
But how do they move?
How do they move? So you're looking at the practicalities of how they actually extricate themselves from that situation.
You have to look at you sit down. When you sit down and speak to this woman on a day-to-day basis, so it's not just about offering them some form of support. Speak to them, listen to them, hear what they're saying, walk in their shoes, and it makes it easier for you to be able to work with them without feeling angry and saying, oh, I've worked with these people and told them repeatedly. It doesn't work like that.
No. Okay.
And as you can see, they live in the big house. Let's just put a scenario together.
Yeah.
Most probably they live in that big house. The man is paying all the bills.
Yeah.
The woman is a housewife, because otherwise, what makes someone take abuse from someone? It's because the person is more powerful than them in one way or the other.
Wow.
The person exerts.
So it's a power dynamics that you're talking about now.
It's an abusive relationship that is power dynamics, because if the man is not stronger than you, if you don't have a certain amount of fear for the man, you'd most probably box him back and he won't touch you again. It's so wrong. But it is out there. It is happening to women. It's happening to men. Every day. And that is one of the reasons why you see in our Nigerian culture, especially because what I could hear, they're a Nigerian family.
Yes, he's speaking Yoruba, yes.
Yes, so parents bring up kids by beating them.
Yeah.
They discipline kids by beating them. So at what point do you tell this child it is wrong for me to beat you? That child will not believe that is the way to exert control over the kids and the wife. And so when you tell such a person that what they are doing is wrong, how do you tell them when they have been brought up that way? When it is okay in that society? That could even be in Nigeria, looking at the style of the house. If that is in Nigeria, you tell me how easy it would be for that woman to just walk away without looking back, just like that. Knowing that it's a country where there is no support. If she doesn't work, her family may not support her. So you understand?
Interesting.
So the circumstances, depending on what the actual circumstances are, it's kind of hard to have a clear picture.
Okay.
Apart from to give that full understanding is, who is the man? Can this man be fished out? Somebody recorded it. So the person that recorded it was obviously under distress at what was happening.
Yes.
So I don't think the person recorded it for fun.
No.
So that person also, and it's not somebody that could have shown their face.
No.
Because you could see that the person was sneaking.
Very much.
To record it.
Yes.
As soon as the woman looked up, the person turned the camera off.
Yeah.
There was a child present.
Two children. Two.
2 children were present, exactly, but one of the kids got up. So there was a third person. There were 5 people there.
Yeah.
2 children that we could see.
That's correct.
2 adults that we could see, and somebody recorded.
Yeah.
Were present. So who is he? We need to find out.
We need to find out.
Surprised if it's in Nigeria, it's one prominent rich man.
Oh, goodness me.
You tell me. When it's a prominent rich man, you tell me.
Are you sure it's in Nigeria because of the carpet that they had on the floor? It looks, you know.
That's the thing. I don't know. I doubt whether it's in the UK. If it is in the UK, it's a very big house. Look at the staircase.
Yeah, it's the staircase down. Yes, it's quite a big one. Yes.
Yeah. So to me, looking at that staircase, the banisters, it's a large house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's either in America or Nigeria. Nigerians use carpet.
Okay. Let me turn to Racethink. Now, are you there, Racethink? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. So now, in terms of, I don't know, did you hear what Susie said? Okay. Now, in terms of the immediate action, she talked about making everybody getting the guy out, getting him found, you know, exposed so that people are aware and you know, and not keeping silent. How do you what else would you think in terms of what immediate other plans should be done by the woman or by those who are supporting that? You know, I don't know if you follow what I'm trying to get to, because we're trying to help in that situation now, like urgently.
Yeah, I was listening to him talking, and this is going to get a bit. I find that we're going to get a bit into trouble, because when we're talking about situations in Nigeria, and we're then talking about for instance, if you're in the UK or you're in Germany, the system and the laws are designed differently as they would be in Nigeria.
Exactly. Yes.
I know that in Kenya we do have a law against domestic violence.
We don't have there's none of that currently in Nigeria. It's not currently available in Nigeria.
In Kenya we do
have
that law against domestic violence. It's in the implementation that I think is a bit difficult, and also the police is not, to a certain extent. I have seen that a lot of women who have gone to seek help at the police, the police have not been educated to the point of understanding what is domestic violence, because when women go to them, or even when the women have been raped, the thing that they say, but that is your husband, you know, he's got a right to do what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
Is the lack of
sensitivity. Yeah.
But I can only talk about what is available in Germany, because that is where I am.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So I cannot talk about something that there are going to be Kenyans or Nigerians who are going to be based in those countries that are going to talk about what are those, because I know in Kenya people have already started to create shelter homes for women, which is being financed by donors. So I'm not sure. I'd rather just stick to my tools where I am.
Okay. Okay.
Where I do not have wrong information.
No. Very, very. I understand. I mean, we are thinking of just general information now, in terms of what we can do. I mean, obviously, we as Africans, we have there's two issues for that I can see for us as Africans. One, we have our own cultural way of doing things. Then we have the influence of the colonization that affects us, and then also when we now move across to across borders, that's another issue as well. So there is issues around those topics that is actually not making it difficult to give a precise answer. But what you've said now is very, very correct, and I thank you so much for that. Let me hear from Susie. Susie, are you back? Can you hear me, Susie? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear you. Ewa.
Okay, so I can hear. Yeah, so I've tried to get the echo down. Can you? So let's go ahead. So let me see.
The echo was on my TikTok, but I don't know whether it's because it was my laptop.
I think it's your laptop, because there was no echo here. We can hear it clearly. Racethink, are you having any echo your end? Racethink, are you having any echo your end? Is there any echo? I don't. Okay, she's probably.
It might be because I'm on. It might be because I'm on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Racethink. Okay, go ahead, Susie. So, yeah, what are your, in terms of what you said, there is an issue with us as Africans, actually, because we have the the cultural way of doing things, which to some extent has been bastardized, but we'll come to that point. But then there is also the issue of the lack of the laws on ground in the government in our country. And then, of course, is when you then move across borders, you come to the West. Then the laws there. So there is, it's a very, very, mixed up. I wonder if you could, explain that middle to people generally, so we can begin to have a clear idea.
What do you want me to explain?
Sorry. Well, I just wanted to, I wanted to hear your thoughts on it. That is the issue of not having that clear guidance from a cultural perspective, number one. Two, the lack of laws in Nigeria dealing with domestic violence like they have in Kenya. I mean, the issue, like what Westing said now, is very good. In Kenya, they have that. I didn't know that. But, that is...
In Nigeria, don't forget, it very much depends on how powerful the man is, who the man knows. So if the woman can't just go to the police station, if her husband is a very rich man, that has that power over the police, that the police will listen to him more. Because don't forget, a lot of our police in Nigeria are most probably abusers themselves, because they're quite aggressive people when you look at the police officers. And also in Nigeria, let me talk about Nigeria because it's Nigeria. In some families in Nigeria, a man beating his wife is him controlling the wife and letting the wife know what she can and what she can't do. So that is where it's a battle, because it depends who is spoken to. It depends on the location, who each party knows, and how much of it is the victim willing to reveal. Because supposing they get to the victim and the victim's not, supposing we discover the victim, supposing we find the victim anyway, and she's not ready to talk, what can you do?
Very difficult. Very, very difficult.
So as an adult, she has to be willing to talk.
But there is something that Westing said. Westing said if they don't, ultimately they end up dead. And that's what Chika said as well. Both men and women can end up dead in that situation. And that is not what we want. And certainly not in this situation. We do not want her to die or be killed or whatever. And that is the major concern.
Do you know what I always say to people? And I even say it to kids. Fighting is never the answer, because you might be beating the person and unknowingly the person hits down, bangs their head and dies, or has a heart attack. Unfortunately, when abusers are abusing, they don't think about it like that. No. When they're in the mode of anger, they don't think about it like that. When you tell victims that this is what could happen, a lot of them don't think that far, or will tell you it won't be me. It won't be me. So you do tell them, but if the person, after you have told them, does not move, what can you do about it? You can only talk as much, you can only give as much information as you can. If I am in an abusive relationship, apart from being in the abusive relationship, I have to want to move for that move to happen.
That's true.
If I don't want to move from that relationship, because there are many women out there, they're in church praying that the husband will change. So they are praying for the change. The man's not going for counseling. They're not addressing the issue with the man, but they're sitting there praying for change. And so they stay there. So it's like so many people know, as adults, we know that if somebody hits us and hits us the wrong way, something hits us in the wrong place, or the wrong place hits the ground or somewhere, we could die or be deformed for life. But at the end of the day, if the person refuses to leave, and leaving is not as easy as people say. You see, when you talk from the outside, it's so easy to say to someone, leave.
Just leave, yeah.
Get on the inside and then try and understand the person. With me, I would tell you, I don't agree with you. I can hear what you're saying, but I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who are in abusive relationships, they need those alternative options that are out there and available for them. Indeed. And some of them receive them. And they still can't. Some people don't want to be alone. No. Prefer to be in an abusive relationship than to be alone.
Oof.
But that belief that there will be change is in a lot of victims. He will change. He loves me. Because a lot of people, after they finish beating their victim, they're very manipulative. They will either apologize to the victim or tell the victim, oh, it was your fault. You don't do that again. They hardly ever take responsibility and recognize that what they've done is wrong.
Okay, thank you so much. And now I'm going to just I'm going to flip now to Rethink, and I will talk about culture as well. So now,
can you put her nearer to the speaker so I can hear?
I will try. Right? I will try and do that. I will try. I'm going to try and move it closer. So if she can, I'll try and move it to my, get it to myself. So I'm trying to adjust it as I speak to you. So now, Rethink, in our culture, we need to go back. Sometimes to go forward, you need to go back. In our African culture, were there ways that our ancestors dealt with this kind of thing? And what were those ways? I wonder if you could,
Yeah, I'm not very sure because a lot of our cultures were demonized when the white people came. But for what I know is that we used to live in a structured community where I'm not sure whether domestic violence was there. I want to believe it was there because it's normal that people are going to quarrel. But I want to believe that they were the village elders or some other people that were responsible actually of doing the mediation.
Okay.
The word mediation or the concept of mediation is an African concept.
Indeed.
It is just patented by white people.
Indeed.
Which was appropriated from us because we've always been mediating.
Okay.
When every cult, every tribe, I don't want to use the word tribe, every community, there was a mango tree somewhere where people would sit.
That's correct.
Each and everyone had their own name that they called it, as we called it Baraza.
Yeah.
And that's where the women and the men would go and, and talk about what was happening in their walls around them. And that is where also punishment would be done or penalties would be given not from the people who are at conflict, but from the people who are in charge of mediating. I know that, for instance, if the husband is not able, those days was not able to discharge his men duties, the woman would go and say it at the baraza and explain using whatever methods as to what the dispute was. So culturally, I think before the white people came, we had our own methods. The beating is a method that was introduced way back during the slave trade as a way of breaking the slaves. This breaking the slave was then taken over to breaking the servant to the colonial times. If you see the way that we deal with our own impunity or ways of punishment, the first thing that we do is to beat.
Yes.
That's what we learn from the white person.
So you're saying this is a learned behavior?
Yes. For me, I think it is a behavior from the West because when you look at a policeman beating somebody that is older than their father.
Wow.
Culturally, it's unheard of.
Wow.
But simply because he's got the uniform and he's got this, he's able to do that. Now, in which culture and in which context would it be possible for somebody who is young to go out and stand in front of a village elder and even lift his head up, let alone lift his hand up?
Wow.
To beat. Yes. So for me, I tend to think these are the things that we have acquired without roots, not knowing where they come from, how they were being done, what was being used for them. We just acquired them. Manifested them in our culture. But
wow.
I do not think, when I look at the people in Southern Africa, the indigenous people in Southern Africa, the oldest living, indigenous people in Southern Africa,
yes,
they are small, tight. These are people that you hardly hear them raising their voices.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, we lost contact, we lost, that connection, and we need to find a way back to connecting to ourselves, manifesting ourselves with the environment, with the earth, mother, planet Earth, because this way we are going to is that we've taken up things that the white person brought into our culture, and we have now taken taken it and I've named it, this is the African culture.
Wow.
What is the African culture to begin with? That is the question I would ask.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. No, it's a very good insight. It's a brilliant insight. And in a way, you've captured some of my thought processes about this issue. I had a suspicion that this was likely the roots of this beating thing, but the way you explained it is very, very clear, and it gives us at least a point at which we can begin to address that within our culture. Now, I know I'm sure in your culture it'll be the same. You already talked about the fact that there was a mediating service between the two sides within the culture pre-slavery and colonialism. So perhaps you want to bring that back up. And same thing. Also, I spoke to a wonderful lady in advanced years, and she said something similar. And she even said that these kids were taught in schools, when they were going to school, how to deal with themselves personally, how to relate to to boys, how the boys were going to relate to girls, and how and mediation in when they're going to get married. They didn't just get married; they were telling them about certain things and what to look for. So it was this was really part of our culture. All of that has gone away, and it's been pushed to one side, and it's a way to probably bring that back to life. And it alludes to what you were saying in that we don't know the roots of this idea of someone just beating the other person up. So thank you very much for that.
Yes. Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
That has always been in place, but our own Nigerian cultures.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerian families will tell the lady to go and endure. A lot of Nigerian families will tell the woman, he will change. A lot of fathers will turn around and say, hey, you've married her. Don't come back home. You're not meant to come back home. Divorce is something that is not recognized within our Nigerian culture.
Yeah.
Regardless of what is going on, they expect you to stay there. So we do have that support system. We do have that mediation, but the mediation needs to be corrected.
Okay.
Families need to be encouraged to give the right to support to their children who are being victimized in their marital homes.
That's correct.
To support them and encourage them. We have something in Nigeria about never ever telling a married person to leave their partner.
That's correct. Yes, I recall. Yes.
You understand? And so even if somebody is being abused in their home, if you go and tell the person to move out of the house, since nothing can be done and the person doesn't want to change, you can be labeled as a homewrecker. And a bad
Indeed. That's true. So that's true.
The mediation needs to change and be the right type of mediation.
Okay.
We have the mediation in place because you know how marriage happens in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You go to the family to ask for the hand. So the family is already on board most of the time. But the right mediation needs to be done.
Okay. Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to ask those of you joining us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Taiwo Kike, good evening to you. Good afternoon. Waris Jinadu, good afternoon to you. And those of you, and each of the others that I have not mentioned, thank you very much for joining us. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I want to say a quick hello to James Friday on Citizen AY Facebook, Adekunle Rasulu as well, and a few others as well who have joined. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to go to Citizen AY on YouTube and subscribe, the platform where we speak truth to power. Now, one of the things that Racethink said was that she alluded to the old ways of doing things. And let me put it this way. Pre-colonialism, there was our mothers and our fathers, they had ways whereby they taught, like I said, they taught kids about these things and how to, when you move into from childhood to adulthood. And a lady yesterday on the program, she said something about that we were using in the olden days, they use a lot of stories, iton, alo, and owe, all of those things that we, all this, those parables that we speak in our language, that they use that a lot. And grandma will sit with the children at night, and usually when they sit with the girls and sit with the boys, and it was always to give them ideas and inclinations to how to solve problems without getting into a situation of violence. And even they even taught the women about how to deal with the monthly cycle issues in those ways. And from all those times, it seems that those things have died off somewhat. And it's now...
Anyway,
yes.
But in a sense, I have to disagree about the support and the teaching that is given. Because, I mean, if they did that in Kenya, that is quite different to what happens in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is a country whereby to discipline a child, they have this very strict rule in Nigeria of do not spare the rod to spoil the child.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Sorry if I may just interject. Before colonization, the lady was saying that they did not always use the rod in that way. It wasn't. It was a last resort if it was going to be used. And the way she was talking about this,
Well, I don't know. When was colonization? When was Nigeria colonized?
Right above since the 1800s.
So how can we? Right? How can we know what actually happened?
Well, I mean, there are histories around it. There are stories around it. And
we have a history of men beating women and it being okay in Nigeria.
Yeah, but
it's not looked down upon.
What I will say is you are absolutely right, and I'm not getting away from that. But what I'm saying is that it's important to look at. When you talk about Nigeria, Nigeria is not made up of 3 different, nations: Yorubas, the Igbos, the Middle Belt. For want of a better, way to put it, and you know what I'm saying. It's not one nation; it was put together. But before that, let me give you an example. In the olden days, when the king was making his cabinet, they had a Iyalode, they had a Iyaloja. So the women had high status within our society. So what that tended to allude to me was that they had order and the women were treated with respect. It wasn't like a man would just go and just slap people around and all of that. It wasn't that. It might happen, but for me, and very much like what Ristink said, that the idea of thank you very much, Ristink. I know she had to go away to do something else. So the idea that somebody that is part of who we are, and that's what she was alluding to. It's not, this beating wasn't part of what we were. And she said a lot of this happened around the time when the colonization, slavery came, and then colonization came, and then they put this idea which destroyed many of our own cultural ways of dealing with things pre that. But you are absolutely right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
You know why I have to disagree? Maybe I don't know.
No, that's fine. It's just a way to debate. Go ahead.
We need to find a way to go back into history because to me this has nothing to do with colonization. Okay. At the end of the day, we had slavery before colonization. People were being whipped and beaten before colonization.
What she was talking about from slavery. She said from slavery. Sorry, she takes from slavery.
Before slavery, we ourselves, before the white man came and took us, we had slavery. We had house helps. We had people that were working on the farms for the kings, and we had the rich people who had workers under them. Do you understand? So I just think that it's something that is in our DNA when it comes to it. Some people don't come off it. We're talking about a country whereby if a man is beating his wife in, let's say in Nigeria, I always stick to Nigeria because Nigeria if a man is beating his wife, how many people will go and call the police?
Now, very good point. The lady said something from what you said there. Are you there? Oh, you went out.
Yeah.
The lady was, sorry to cut in. The lady said something yesterday and it was on the program. She said in the olden days, the respect that each person would bring into the union was such that if you were to even raise your voice to your wife, the look that you will get from either parent that, what, you are doing this? How can you? And she really, I mean, I'm going to play that section, and I was amazed about this.
You have to play it for me because that is not my understanding.
In the recent past, you are right, and my own experience as well confirms what you're saying. The immediate experience confirms that growing up as well, because you saw that happening. Although having said that, I never saw my grandpa raise a hand on any of his women. I never, and he had 5 wives. So he never had. So he had 5 wives, and I was in there, and he never ever once raised his hand on them. So after that, our own parents and things like that, you could see and experience that what you are talking about now. But the reason why I'm talking about is that to find a long-lasting solution to this problem, to try and talk about this in a way that will make us look at all of the solutions possible. So, because right now, we are where we are. And I suppose the next question to ask now is this. In terms of what we teach our kids in terms of interrelations, are we doing that within our society? If not, is it something we should be looking at? That's one. Number two, the law. I spoke to a man said yesterday on the show on Oduduwa TV Radio when I was there, because we do that in Yoruba. And he said that he actually put a law forward, and he put forward to Obasanjo, and now he's now trying to speak to the government here, and now again in Yoruba, in Nigeria, about having the law that would actually be in statute so that nobody would be able to beat a wife or the husband, that kind of thing. So on those two things, one, the issue of, are we doing the right training and teaching and preparing the kids for relationships and building that idea of never to beat somebody as part of our culture? If not, shouldn't we do that? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think we're doing the right thing, because don't forget, already, apart from a few schools now, kids are beaten in school, kids are beaten at home.
Yes, I saw a video. Oh my gosh, yes, that reminds me, yes.
Exactly. So you already give them the message that the way to deal with a difficult situation is to beat the person.
Yeah.
That message is already out there. Like I said to you before, now, after colonization, there is this thing of don't spare
the rod and spoil the child. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, here in the UK, when people have kids that are misbehaving, what is the next response you get? Take that child to Nigeria, they will deal with that child.
Yeah.
So when you are already bringing them up to get used to beating, they get that message that it is right to beat. So parents need to be more creative in how they discipline their kids.
Yeah.
Take the beating out of it.
Yeah.
Find more creative ways
of
because when you are beating them from childhood, when they now become beaters, because abusers are said to become
abusers in the future.
Become abusers. So those who are abused are usually victims of abuse. So when you already give them that message that it is okay to smack somebody that is doing wrong, you understand? Then how do you now give that message? Schools need to stop caning kids. They need to find a different way to discipline kids.
Indeed.
Parents need to find a different way to discipline kids.
Indeed.
Because that is a seed that is planted right from a young age.
Indeed.
Once the seed is planted, how do you deroot it?
Very good point. Very good point you raised there. Very, very good question there. So, and on the second point I talked about in terms of, the laws. Okay, before I do that, I also saw a video which confirms what you said. I saw a video of a headmaster laying kids down on the floor recently, and they were having to get lashes. That is not something that can be done by only our community, but actually a law in government to prevent that. So that also ties into the question of the law again. How do you, what do you think should be happening at the earliest opportunity on that?
And this is what we need to see our politicians doing. This is the type of things we need to see some of the politicians being concerned about. The way homes are being run in the sense of domestic violence and stuff like that. So unless the politicians now stand up and say, maybe somebody needs to take it to them to say we need this law implemented. And then that law, once that law is implemented, but be honest with me, Ayo. Within the African culture, within the Nigerian culture, do you see a lawmaker taking this as a bill to the Senate and then passing it through straight away?
No. It is not realistic, because the people who are even often passing the laws are often participating in this kind of action themselves. So that's why we need to look at starting this change from within our own society with our children to actually put a break in this vicious cycle, which you said, and the schools. What about homes? What about in the homes?
Yeah, but don't forget, it is not easy to get to homes like that, especially in a country like Nigeria. If there's a way to get to the homes, then yes. if there's a way to put leaflets out there, if there's a way. But also, when you are giving that message, you also need to be giving other options to people. You don't just say to them, don't do this. You also give them other options. Don't do this. Try this instead. Try that instead. You understand?
Yeah.
So you can't just, it's not just about giving a message. It's about being able to give options as well.
Indeed.
So that they have something, because whatever is happening that is causing them to behave in that manner will still be happening. So how do they deal with it?
Yeah, indeed. Okay, let me just quickly say a quick hello again. Good afternoon, Mr. Sosa, Sosa Sunday, and James Friday, Alagbade Kule Rasulu, and the others who are on YouTube. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This program and this broadcast is specifically aimed at addressing the issue of abuse. There was a recent case of a man, and it's all over the internet. The man was physically abusing his wife in front of his children, and the wife can be heard. I'm not even going to play it because it is that horrific. I'm sure, Susie, you've seen it and you agree with what I'm saying. It was horrific. I don't even want to put the sound out there because the
fact that a man would want to beat the wife with a belt so comfortably.
Yes, it is shocking. It is shocking.
I mean, who do you actually think you are?
And he was actually kicking her as well. You know, and I looked at that, and I'm, you know, it horrifies me. It horrifies me. I am appalled by it.
It's sad that social media does not allow you to post such things in an educated manner. Yeah. Because it would be nice if there was, you know, yes, it is violence, but it's something that people need to learn from as well.
Yeah, I mean, before I was so horrified I wanted to post it, but I realized that if I post it on TikTok, for example, they will bring it down. You know, and on Facebook, they might not block immediately, but they will come and do it weeks after because that's what they tend to do. So I didn't post it. And again, on YouTube, the same thing. So what I've done is I've just taken a picture, I've blurred the face so that people will not see.
Oh, so you can't post that on YouTube either?
No, if you post it, they will take it down as well. Adult. Yes.
Even if you select the adult.
No, because they will because it's promoting violence of, you know, because you could hear the belt, you could. I mean, it's okay. It's really so. Yeah, but you raised some really important points here. But going forward as a community, should we be having this discussion among our friends from the point of view of, in terms of the women? I think this highlights the need for network within our community.
Not just women, there are men victims out there as well.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So it has to be a family thing, men and women.
Indeed. You're right.
Because let's even say that we say the men are the abusers.
Yeah.
Let's just say, I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying.
No, indeed.
The abusers need to hear the message as well.
They do.
That message is for the abusers. So if you're talking to the victims, what are you saying to the abusers who are doing it? It's okay telling a victim how to protect themselves, but it's not about how to protect themselves, it's how this needs to stop. And if you need to talk to somebody about how it needs to stop, you need to talk to the abusers about how they need to stop doing it.
Okay, thank you very much. So today is still about the stopping abuse in our communities, man beating woman, woman beating man, and how we're going to address it. So I suppose looking at setting up, should we consider having refuge? Because a lot of the issues is that within our community, we tend to keep things among ourselves, or a couple will not go out and talk to the authority for impact of what will happen to the kids herself and all of that, or the husband, vice versa. Should we look at creating, like I said, this refuge within our own community directly? I know you have the refuge for the wider society, but oftentimes one lady said that the women don't tend to come out because they don't want to be stigmatized in any way, shape, or form. But I don't know what do you think of that suggestion?
Sorry, Disco. But no, sorry, AY, what's your page called on Facebook, on YouTube?
It's a Citizen AY. Citizen AY.
Okay, AY Citizen, sorry. So yes, I think it is very good. Committees, all these groups are very helpful. You understand? But it also you need to think of how you are going to pass that message down as well. So it's one thing about having a group, but when you have that group, how is that message passed down?
Oh, I'm not even talking. I mean, groups is one thing, but I'm actually having refuge, our own kind of refuge within our own community.
Yeah. You see, with a refuge, with a refuge, you need to with a refuge, there's quite a few things that you have to look at.
Absolutely,
so you have to look
absolutely.
At, yes, what support are you going to be giving these women? So if they come to your refuge, what's going to happen to them afterwards?
How are they afterwards moving on with their lives?
How are they going to live? How are they going to be fed? How are they going to be supportive? So that's the thing with a refuge. You have to. So a lot of work needs to be done. It needs to be thought about. You need funding for a refuge because if you're going to rehouse someone, you need money to rehouse them.
And here's something now. When you talked about that, as soon as we talk about refuge, we all know that we are talking about outside of the country. Now, here's what I want to throw into it as a suggestion. How about actually having those kind of things set up at home? Is that something that is is it on ground? Do you know if we have refuge for women and men who are abused on ground in Nigeria? Do we have anything like that?
I think you have some NGOs out there that support them. There are some NGOs out there. I think if you put it out and say, there are some NGOs that support women who are victims of violence. But I think the main issue is money and how they support them afterward. Because there's one thing about taking someone out of a home.
Yeah.
But then what happens afterwards?
Indeed. Very interesting point. So, and also now, we know the man is actually abused people. Somebody talked about an issue yesterday that some people, men or women, can have some mental issues alongside, undiagnosed. How should that be looked at in the context of what we're talking about now?
An abuser, somebody who treats somebody in the manner that you saw that man treating the woman, you would say that person cannot be of sane mind. But unfortunately, like I said, when it's part of the culture to beat people, then do you say that the whole culture is insane?
Yeah.
But it's about re-educating people. That man needs to be re-educated on how to deal with issues that he is not happy with.
Yeah.
He might have mental health issues. I'm sure he might have mental health issues, but unfortunately, it is part of our culture. So it's hard to... And because it is accepted in society, because as human beings, if we do something and we're not rebuked, and people think what we're doing is okay, we will continue doing it. And it escalates and escalates and escalates. Yeah, so that man is exerting his anger onto that woman. So it makes him feel better. It makes him feel that he's dealt with the situation.
Okay.
Some people feel better when they feel powerful and they feel in control.
That's not how and that really is not really in control. It's actually doing more damage.
It's not control. And like women would say, when someone's abusing you, when you stay there, you're empowering the person and making the person think that what they did is right. Unfortunately, it's not that easy for many to get out of abusive relationships.
No.
And as much as, people will say, well, I've spoken to them, we've given them this message. It's a message that needs to be given on a constant basis, and you have to be ready for resistance.
Okay. I wondered if people want to call in, you can call in on +44 739 580 606. The phone lines are open. If you wanted to chime in with one or two comments and suggestions, you can call in +44 7399 580 606. If you're watching this on all the platforms, it's the same number. It's on the screen. You can just call that number and join the discussion. We'll probably be, we've got maybe another 10-15 minutes to talk about this. But whoever, what would you say about trying to track this man down? How urgent is that is that call? Should we,
You know what? I think it's urgent to track the man down, because in this day and age of social media, we actually are able to correct people, and maybe he has a family that can speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
People will point out to him that what he has done is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But also we need to be careful, because we have to kind of have an understanding of the impact that it has on the woman. To be honest with you, tracking the man down is good, because it's already on social media.
That's
There's
correct.
nothing he can do
about
it being on social media. So trying to track him down and finding out who he is, I think is a very good idea, because he can't stop it from going viral anymore.
No,
we don't
can't.
have control.
No, we don't have control. That is indeed very true.
I saw it, and then I came back and I actually saw it on Facebook, but I couldn't find it. Maybe they had taken it down by the time I came to search for it.
Again,
sorry, but it's all over WhatsApp. So yes, and I'm sure it's all over emails.
Indeed. Okay.
So if you can do kind of get a still picture and get the man's face, that would be good.
That would be good. Okay. We'll look into that. Just as a side issue, the elections coming tomorrow.
Yes.
I see you smiling.
I knew you wouldn't be able to help yourself, Ayo.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
That is your passion. That is your passion.
No. I'm sure. You see, you mentioned something, and the reason why I talked about it is because you talked about the fact that to make the laws, we need people in government to be aware of the things that we just talked about now, to improve the lives of the people. So the governance has a role to play in this discussion. So it's interest. The coming elections, does it give you any hope that things are going to change to address the issues, the very issues we just raised?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm being honest. Ayo, at the end of the day, we've got about 15 parties that are going for the elections.
Yeah.
We only hear about 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 3 of them are all recycled politicians in their own form, in their own way.
Yeah.
You understand? We know that the possibility of APC letting go of power is very slim.
Yeah.
Because Buhari has promised to pass it over to Tinubu, and Tinubu is waiting for it to be passed over to him.
Yeah.
This might be his only chance of running for an election because of his age. So the possibility of him letting go is very
zero.
Slim. PDP see themselves as, well, it's our turn. It's either us or
now my turn. No, it don't.
And Labour Party is just sitting there with loads of support on social media, but does it have loads of support in real life where it matters? Are those people that are supporting him going to go out and vote? And also, are the elections going to be rigged?
That's another question, isn't it, in terms of the discussion? So there is my gut feeling is I have to, the last one, asking that question if it's going to rig, there's no point in this bit doubting that. It is going to be rigged. It is going to be rigged.
I see the army moving in slowly.
That's correct. Yeah. There's been pictures. They've got 27,000 policemen in Lagos. 20.
And let me tell you something. What a lot of people don't realize is that if the army wants to take over, they're not going to move into every state. They're only going to move into Lagos and Abuja.
Yes.
And they take over from those 2 states. Before, it used to be just Lagos.
Yes.
And I think, I remember when Dia did their one, they did it from Ibadan. So they just need to go to a key place and make that announcement that they are taking over and block everything else. So I think that would depend on, after the election result is announced, what will be the response of the people?
Yeah.
Hopefully, if they don't get their choice, it won't go into anarchy and riots start. And, that will lead to the army saying, right, we need to take over from here.
Indeed. Oh.
How long does it take them to give us the results?
Well, it could be as early as the next day, or it should more or less happen immediate. You should have it by the end of the night.
Is it
because they're worried about, because of the issue of because of the BVAs and things, and it's more and more electronically,
but it's
done.
not all electronic.
Not all. Not all.
Yeah. So when they don't have electronic, and you have remote villages that they put in polling booths, then they've got to travel to those polling booths to pick up those boxes.
Well, but that's where the BV is. Apparently, they have some transmitters from there to the base without them having to leave that area.
Wow, to me that gives room for rigging. Man.
Well, there you go. So
I can put what I want in. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If I'm counting it by hand.
Yeah. So
and they paid me the right money.
Yeah.
Because it's not live.
So are you saying that you're willing to be paid the right money?
Yeah, but knowing that who's going to recount those ballot papers? You understand? So I don't know. You know what? People need to realize that no matter how we shout or make noise, this is one we have to sit down and watch. We don't know what's going to happen. Exactly. Anything can happen.
Anything. Okay. I don't know if people are calling in. I'm trying to see if I can find one or two people who are going to. If you do want to call in, please do call in on +44 739 580 606. I know many people's mind are on the election, so that's why I touched on it briefly.
Yes.
But this issue that we're talking about here is about life and death. It's about a woman. I think if I put the picture up for those of you who may not have seen it, I'll just put it up on here so you can see it again. The picture in the middle is blurred. It says "Say no to abuse," and on there you can see the man with his hands going over to somebody with a belt, but it's all obscured. And the reason is because we want to protect their identity and not make things worse for them. So, oops, I see. Made a mistake in the typing there. But anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to reiterate is that I think we need to be having this kind of honest and truthful conversations in our community. We like to. One of the things that I know about our community is that we're very flamboyant. When we go to parties, we are everything looks wonderful. We as party, we are party animals. And one Kenyan woman was saying Nigerians are, they can really, they have know how to do a good time and all of that. But the flip side of that is, all too often it is becoming apparent to me that we're not really addressing the foundational issues such as this within our communities, and we let it fester for too long. And
I disagree with you because I'm a party person. I go to party Friday night, Saturday night, and the rest of the time is for whatever needs to be done.
I know that.
All work, no play.
No, I'm saying that's the impression. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's the impression that we give when these things are happening and it's not being addressed and nobody. I mean, it doesn't. When people call a party, for example, people will boom, it gets packed out. But when issues happen like this, it seems that in our society we're very slow to have something in place to address it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong to have a party. Don't get me wrong. It's not wrong. We can.
I was going to say maybe they need to start distributing leaflets at parties, putting them in party packs, because at the end of the day, you have victims sitting.
You know what? That is brilliant, Susie. Let me write that down. So that is such a brilliant idea. So
you go to the source.
Yeah. So go to where they are. So victims of so at parties distribute, and this is something that we could do within our society. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
So leaflets about domestic violence at parties. Yeah.
There's people give out
Oh, somebody's calling. Okay, let me just take the call in. Hello, Bright. Hello there. Hello. Yeah. Yes, how are you doing? Yeah, good. Are you watching me live or are you calling for something else? I'm live right now.
Okay, you are still live, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, if you will allow me, I'd like to digress a bit, but we have to condemn domestic violence and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, good. Yes, please. Go ahead.
We are Biafrans trying to build a new nation.
Yes.
And this is a very, very impressive, interesting tool.
Yeah, good. Yes, please. Right. Yes.
Okay.
It is bad, it is unconscionable, it is intolerable, it is absolutely unacceptable. And we wish to have even a reorientation programs when we finally get our freedom. And also, I'd like to use this opportunity to tell Oduduwa and Biafran people who are in support of our activities are Biafrans.
Yeah.
Of course, there are many conflicting interests who are trying to make us to drop our interest for our quest for freedom and then start campaigning for one Nigeria, which is absolutely not possible.
Exactly.
So
exactly. It's impossible.
We encourage the entire Biafrans who really want their freedom this year to sit at home very calmly.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Bright. Bright, what I will say is this. Bright, I hear you. What I will say is this. I agree with your thought process, but we have to. What I said yesterday was that if people see what is going on, they should use their own brain and decide if they should really go to the elections themselves. The reason I'm saying that is because there is this attempt to make us all look as though we are supporting violence, and we need to be very, very clear that that's not what we're saying. We are saying that the people.
Violence is a word that has kept Africa in bondage till today.
Yeah.
I remember when I was young, when they talk about violence, we went hiding because we thought it was bad to do violence. If you cannot do violence, you will not be able to challenge your oppressor and stop him. Somebody had to do something, and it must be done.
Exactly.
The prices is very high. Yes. The people must be determined to pay any kind of price, no matter how much life it costs.
Yeah.
The end result is what is very, very important. And very paramount for all the young African people. They should grow beyond fear and take even much more risk and they try the impossible. So people who are coming to kill us with their propagandas and lies this year, we are trying to make sure we stop the election. It doesn't happen in our land. We cannot validate our oppressor, which is Nigeria, and we cannot continue to rail in Nigerian election in our land. We cannot validate our enslavement. It is impossible for us. We don't feel comfortable with all the killing in our land.
Indeed.
Transferring the blame to innocent people.
Indeed.
So, young Nigerians, my name is Bright. We encourage all of you to sit at home and do not engage in the election. Do not vote. We are not voting. We are not voting. We are asking for a chance to determine our future, our life. We need our life back. We need to breathe.
Yeah.
This has choked us to the level that it is unacceptable. Those people who are propagating, celebrating that Simon was arrested. Simon was not arrested, and they have not anything like that. And even if it exists, thousands of Simon have already grown up. Thousands of Simon are out there. This is just the beginning of the revolution. Nigeria must be stopped.
Okay.
We are not scared or afraid to say it. Whether we die or whether anything that happens to us, we must be ready to bear that cost, because that is why God brought us here. There is a reason why you are in the UK. Citizen AY, there is a reason why you are in the UK.
Indeed.
If Nigeria was good, everything was fine. I don't think that you will go and live in the cold for many years.
No.
When you have a very nice and beautiful environment, you are an idealist.
Yeah.
You are a very intelligent and smart person. I know what you would have created if you have channeled all this energy in building Nigeria. But because that country was not women, nomadic people do not care about building infrastructure or changing lives or making people's lives better. They are not interested. Anybody who rises up to do this, they will stop the person. They will kill the person. They will call the person terrorist. They will call the person they will single the person out and kill the person.
Yeah.
This is how Africa have lost thousands of heroes who want to set it free. For the freedom of African people, it must start from Nigeria. Nigeria must be stopped. Nigeria must end. So this is our position. Our position is that we want Biafra and that we want thousands of Biafrans, innocent Biafrans, who are in Nigerian prison to be released. And this is what we will do. If they touch any of us, there is going to be a serious crisis in Nigeria this very year.
Okay.
Nigeria is going to receive water.
I mean, I hear you. And I really see, I can see the passion with which you are talking about this topic, and I can, we had discussions about that, and I see a lot of what you're saying, and in many respects, I agree with it. So yeah, go ahead. We're saying a lot of things to actually free ourselves from that contraption, but just on the issue of the violence, the domestic violence. I don't know. Did you see the video yourself?
Yeah, the domestic violence sometimes starts with hatred and disagreement with some family members, either the parents or the children or the rest of the family. Domestic violence is big. It can grow as far as getting the entire family, even up to the extended family. But creating understanding and, if something cannot work, it cannot work.
Exactly.
Why I brought Biafra inside this domestic violence, the relationship between Biafra and Nigeria is also domestic violence.
It is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Serially killing Biafran people, and
that's true.
Wants to talk about this marriage can no longer work. You know when something is working out for them and when it is not working out.
Yeah.
If it cannot work out, the individuals are ready to separate and walk away.
Yeah. Interesting.
If you continue to think that you want to make it better, before you know, somebody will say something that will hurt each other, and one we may take knife or take anything or hot water or acid, and they hurt each other. Either the man or the woman.
Yeah.
Everybody is equal. It doesn't matter whether it's a man or it's
a woman.
We don't put blame on anybody. But what we encourage people is always try to be conscious of their life. What brought you together? If it is love, let that love rule. Let the love reign in your lives. But when these kind of items are not there, and things are,
Indeed.
You should know when you should be the master of your game, know when to continue, and know when to say
enough.
Hey, please let us. Enough is enough. Let us go. So that when we see each other tomorrow, we can still help each other.
Yeah.
This is why human beings are better than some other species.
Yeah.
Other living organisms.
Thank you. No, thank you very much.
What I have to say
about
it.
No, thank you. Thank you, Bright. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We will talk some more. You made some valid points there. And of course, we want to be free. Referendum is what we want, and we must get it, and we will get it. So, thank you. Bye-bye. So, Susie, are you there?
Yes.
No, so
I'm here.
Yeah, so it's interesting how we actually made the analogy, and I can see between Nigeria and and those of us who want to go, which are the wives, if you like, and the case of the man beating his wife, because a lot of what we are trying to do in going for self-determination is because we are in an abusive relationship, a one-way relationship where our voices are not heard. There is an imposition of what they do, what they want, and our people, the things and our property and our lives mean no value, and all of that was displayed by what the man did yesterday, in that video. So I mean, it's hard to argue against that kind of what is said there in many respects. So, but anyway, so it is what it is. We will continue to talk about this issue. And if anybody else wants to call in, you can call in. But I know I want to thank Susie for the time you've given us now. You've been really busy. And you at a short time, I called you late, and you were okay, and 45 minutes, and you were here. So I want to thank you very much for giving us the time. And
I've been calling you IY.
So we will, and you and I, we know each other, and I'm grateful, and I like you're a great mom with your kids and what you do, and so just keep at it, and
Thank you.
And we will continue to have this discussion. And if there are any more further updates that you know of, do let me know. And we will. And I'd like to do more. We need to do more shows anyway. We should be doing more shows to talk about things, a range of issues.
Anytime.
So
I got a screenshot of the video. I'll post it on my social media.
That's it. Screenshot. That's it. No, exactly.
That's what I think we need to do. Yeah?
Fantastic. Listen, you take care now, and talk soon.
You.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right,
yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks a lot, anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye now. Bye. Yeah. Bye. So we're gonna let her go. So that's Susie Retty. Very, very good. I want to thank her very much for giving us her time and discussing this issue from my own point of view. And also I want to thank Race Think, who was on TikTok. This was streamed on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And I want to thank each and every one of you that has been on Facebook watching us all this while, and your contributions and comments. The thumbs up from Waris, my brother, on YouTube, and there's another person who spoke as well. Taiwo Kike, good evening to you. Waris Jinodu, and many others. And those of you on Facebook, I'm just going to quickly go around and have a look at Facebook on the Oduduwa TV radio. We'll be back later on today and doing a Yoruba version of this, because we need to talk about the elections and really go into detail a bit more about that. This topic today, this afternoon, was really exclusively for the issue of this the domestic violence. We say no to domestic violence. Say no. Say no to abuse. Say no to domestic violence. Say no to psychological abuse. We need to talk it out. Your fist must not do the talking. Your mouth must do the talking. And if it doesn't work, be a man enough or a woman enough to say, you know what, it's not working. Let's go our separate ways. We have to be cordial in all of this, because in the end, those kids, they are scarred, and they are mentally scarred by what they've gone through. We don't want that for them to be something that they are going to be experiencing. We don't want them to be feeling that that is the way to do things. We should be the ones planning to break that horrible tradition that horrible. It's actually a quotidian, a routine. People doing this, you think you are doing something. It's part of our culture. It's not. It's a routine that has now been, co-opted into our culture. People thinking that to beat someone is the answer to the solution of the problems that you have. Beatings never solve the problem. So let me just quickly say hello. Sunday Adebanjo, thank you. So Amid Salamu, thank you. Oladapo Toyin Shola, thank you for joining us. Basirat Ola Tokubo, and yes, thank you very much. So we've just been talking about domestic violence. We did the English Yoruba version yesterday. Today we've done largely the English version, and we've had people joining us on TikTok talking about domestic violence. We're saying a loud no to domestic violence. You need to talk it out. Within our community, we need to have, certainly in the Yoruba community, and within the African community, we need to relearn how our ancestors, again, the words for me are powerful. Our ancestors had a way of doing things. Did you know that our ancestors had their own form of governance? And it was working? I'll come and discuss that at length again. I think I've talked about it once, but I'll refresh our mind. The same thing with how we do mediators. Race Think mentioned about mediators, and I know for a fact that within your Yoruba kingdom or your kingdom, there were ways in which our ancestors, we taught and trained men and women, and you wouldn't just marry anybody. You had to go through a process of marriage. They had to, you had to feel each other out, and with guidance. To actually marry. Of course, now there are no guidance in that cultural sense. It's just you marry somebody, you want to get married, and you need to understand. And in the olden days, they used to think, okay, if the person is having it like this, and what you ate and everything else, and what you wore, everything was part of the discussion, so that the elders were part of your life in making your lifelong decisions. Right now, that is not there. That to move forward, we need to go and look in our past and our ancestral ways of doing courtships and how they did things, and really not take everything they did then and take it on full on, but take the good bits of it and marry it to what we have now, to be able to raise future fathers and mothers that are less likely to resort to violence to solve their problems. That is what I am really keen to do here. I want us all to really work on that. We're going to try and find out information about this man, where he is, his name, and bring that up to you. It's really important for us to do that. So I want to just take this time to thank you all once again. It is such a pleasure having you guys join in the discussion, and I want to thank Bright for his contributions as well. If you do want to call in, we will give you. I know it was a short time. We'll try and make sure that we will give a bit more time so that people can be able to call in and be able to contribute. But of course, the phone line is open. If you want to call in for the next 5 minutes, you can. Because I firmly believe that it's important that we allow each other the chance to to talk about this kind of physical abuse, that is it's so violent. I mean, I can't even play. When I played the sound and I played it on air, and the sound of the belt made me literally jump inside. And I'm a man. I'm a big guy. I'm not sort of a tiny thing, but it just made my bone chill, and it's not something that we should advocate in any way, shape, or form. We should condemn it. So all of us, we unequivocally condemn violence. The husband is supposed to take care of the wife, and the wife is supposed to take care of the husband, and that's what it must be. And in particularly with the children, the message we're sending, if we do not set of circumstances, that it makes it difficult for you to even live a normal life. The way the government is actually oppressing you, knowing that the government is not looking out for your interest, they're failing to provide you with infrastructure, the kind of things you need to live a decent life. We understand that, but nonetheless, the community spirit can actually get us through a lot, and in many ways it can empower us to get the things that we are not being given by our governance. And I've talked about how the steps we can take within our community to begin to empower ourselves to hold those who are in governance to account, whoever they are. For me personally, I have no interest in the elections in terms of voting. For me personally, the evidence is that the government is using funding, bribing here. I mean, you saw the man that was the House of Reps that was caught with $5 million, $2 million, $2 or $5 million, I'm not even sure, in Enugu. Is it Enugu? He was caught with that, and it was given, by PDP to ensure they won the elections and all of that. It's Anambra. So this tells you that the system is broken. And if a system is broken, guess what? The people will be broken. But nonetheless, we, the people, have to pick up the pieces collectively together within our communities and begin to address those things. And that is what I'm hoping, that by having discussions like this, and having honest and truthful discussions among ourselves, to somehow waken our people up, so that we can begin to address the age-old issues that we have never ever addressed collectively. It's our collective effort that will really address and reduce such incidences as a man beating his wife or the wife beating his man, because they will understand that there is no need to have violence in a relationship for it to function. There is no need to have violence in a relationship for it to function. A relationship functions best without violence. So we say no to violence of any kind. Talk it out. Go and have counseling. And also, at this point, it's important to identify from the young, when you're going out in relationships, just an advice, I'm no expert, to make sure that you feel each other out. What are the kind of things you like? The person that you're talking to, do they match? Do they complement each other? So those are the kind of skills that we probably might begin to start teaching to our children, so that when they are going out to having a relationship, they can be less likely to end up in a situation such as this unfortunate woman ended up in, where the husband is beating her up in front of the children. And let's take a moment to think about those children. They were whimpering in the background. They were whimpering. One of them, the boy, had to go and stop in front of that. Dad, no more. Dad, stop. Dad, stop. Dad, stop. And you heard the mom saying, Ayo, stop. Ayo, stop. And that is terrible. That is it's a harrowing image. Many of us growing up, we thought that all of those kind of things had gone away with the past, only for it to come back in the future, and it's haunting many of us. Many people do not express this. And one of the things that we are not very good at as men in our community is to talk about feelings, is to talk about negative experiences that we've experienced, and we often hide that inside. And sometimes when you hide that inside, what happens is that it comes out and expresses itself in different formats. And it's important that we begin to inculcate the idea of men having meaningful discussions. Just because you talk about things doesn't mean you're weak. No, it means that you are man enough to admit that something is wrong, and you are giving yourself the opportunity to address it and move on. And guess what? When you talk to other people about it, you might have a solution. They might have a solution that you had never even thought about, and that can save you a lifetime of stress. So I want us all, particularly my Yoruba brothers, we need to. It's nice to be, yes, I'm the guy in the town. Yes, I'm this. Yes, I'm that. Yes, look at me. Yes, I'm, But there is nothing wrong in being vulnerable and discussing those issues, because if you show those vulnerability in a safe space, you can address it and you can actually become stronger psychologically. I just think this is something that we need to look at within our community, because the macho man attitude, it is actually not macho to be beating somebody up, but people will say macho man. When you think macho man, you think it's a bad, strong man. It takes no nonsense. He will beat them up. He will beat the wife up. That's not what it's about. So these are the kind of things we talk about. And I loved what Susie said at parties. And when we're going to have parties now, I think we need to start having leaflets about handing it out. When you put it on the table, put it on the table. Say no to domestic violence. Just a little message, because everybody in the house, it sends a message that we in our community, we're not prepared to accept this. So there's a lot of things. I've written it down. It's such a brilliant idea, and I hope that we can work with that and go forward with that. Thank you very much, Coastal Region Liberation. Thank you. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe, and those of you watching me, we really need your support. Help us by subscribing to Citizen AY on YouTube. Citizen AY on YouTube. Hashtag CITIZENAY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. The more we can reach more people, the more the message we're sending out will reach more people, and then we can raise the level of awareness within our community. As ever, you all know that on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, we only speak truth. That's all. And if we do get things wrong, we always immediately rectify it and we'll come out and say so. What we're saying here is that we have to give our people a new insight and a new way of thinking and enlighten our people collectively, and that is what we're about. So I hope you have found this broadcast of immense of value. Please do share it. Leave comments. We will endeavor to answer your messages and give comments where possible. But please, most of all, help us by continuing to grow the platform. It's been a pleasure doing this broadcast this afternoon. I'll be back later on Oduduwa TV Radio to talk about the election. And tomorrow morning we'll be up nice and early to follow the elections. So there will be not just myself. I'm hoping that there will be others joining us throughout the day discussing the elections. And I might be on other shows as well, joining them in and out, crisscrossing, looking at what things are happening. Please keep in mind the fact that I said that we are going to be covering the elections doesn't mean that I support the elections, but I know that it's impacting our people, so we need to actually report that and pick out points about it throughout the day. So we will be on Oduduwa TV Radio, Citizen AY, joint broadcast, whereby we'll be having this discussion, and we'll be going in between, flipping between the two throughout the day tomorrow. Maybe at least a large part of the day. And then, of course, on Sunday, all of us will be looking out for the result of the fraudulent elections. So thank you so much for joining this podcast. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead right now to Citizen AY on YouTube. Hit the subscription button. Hit notification button so that when I come live, you'll be able to see us, and then give us the thumbs up. I want to thank each and every one of you. Those of you who have joined us on TikTok, Race Think, Chikakati, and those of you who've watched the broadcast, thank you so very much. It's a pleasure. We'll be back again later on, keeping an eye on the elections. And those of you who are on Citizen AY, thank you all so very much. We truly appreciate you. We know Facebook are making things difficult. Out of 119,000 followers, they've reduced the numbers to barely 10, 11, 12, 30 sometimes. Same thing with Oduduwa TV Radio, but it doesn't matter. Please, also, those of you on Oduduwa TV Radio, please go ahead to Oduduwa TV Radio 2 on YouTube and subscribe, because they will be doing programs in Yoruba. So I want to thank you all once again. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you, and have a pleasant weekend. We'll see you all later on very soon. Thank you. Bye. Bye. So, okay. So we're now ending TikTok. So TikTok, bye to TikTok. Those of you on YouTube, I want to say thank you all so very much. Please continue to share the broadcast, and it's a pleasure having each and every one of you on board. We encourage you when we're doing live broadcast, do call in. I'll give you a bit more heads up in terms of when we have a broadcast like this. This was an opportunity, and it was such a pleasure speaking to Susie as well. But thank you very much. We're back later on to cover the elections, the ongoing elections that's going to start tomorrow. So thank you very much. You're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please don't forget to go and subscribe. Hit subscribe, hit notification button, and of course give us a thumbs up.